Hey, it's Jack from Producer Profits, and today the reason for making this video is really just to make sure you know what type of producer you are, and to make sure that you know you aren't going to be the lazy producer. Now, there are three types of producer, as you can see here. Now, type 1 is the lazy producer, type 2 is the determined producer, and type 3 is the lucky producer, and we'll be going through this right now. So type 1, the lazy producer. Now, the lazy producer is a person who always talks about what they want to do, but never actually takes any massive action to achieve their dreams. Now, let me assure you, you want to avoid the type of person who is the lazy producer, the type of person who always talks but never actually acts. Now, this is key because when I first started selling beats online, I was surrounded by people who never thought that it was going to work, and they only ever talked about what they wanted to do. Now, a lot of people I knew always came up with business ideas and plans and thought about how much money they were going to make, but when it actually came to it, they never dedicated the action and the time it took to succeed and achieve what they wanted to. And the reason for this is simple. It's because they're surrounded by people themselves who keep telling them the same old information that constantly drags people down, and that is stuck living in a 9-to-5 job for the next 4 to 5 years, and they're completely wasting their unique talent, because a lot of people have talent, a lot of people actually have things that other people wish they had, and for us that is making beats, that's making music that everybody wants to hear. Now, not everyone can sit at a computer and make a beat and sell it, because not everybody has the talent to be able to make a beat that is actually sellable. Is sellable a word? I'm not too sure, but you know what I mean, sellable. And the reason for this is simply because we have a unique talent, and that unique talent is making music. And when you're stuck living in a 9-to-5 job, you are not using your unique talent, and you're completely wasting it. I know people who wish they could make music, but then again, they keep talking about it and they wish they could do it, but when it actually comes to putting in the time and the effort to achieving this, they run away, they're not interested. And I want to make sure that you don't fall into the trap and don't become a lazy producer, or a lazy person in general, a lazy business man or woman. Now, let's go over to the next type, the type 2 producer. Oh, and before we do this, let me just quickly add that very few producers in our producer profits community right now are in type 1. They're not in type 1 producer mode. And the reason for this is because of the information I share with you. Now, the information I share with you is aimed to spark that motivation and start allowing you to be able to take that massive action, especially with the information I've been talking to you about over the last few days. I think I sent you a video 5 days ago, I think, about traffic. I sent you another one on conversion. I sent you another one on how to grow your online business. And today, this one is simply aiming to try and help you put into perspective your dreams and help you achieve them, and realize that this can actually be your reality. So type 2 is the determined producer, and what the term determined producer is simply the person you always see working at all hours of the day and has a ridiculous passion for what they do. Now, this is where most producers will be in producer profits. They will be in this type 2 mode, and the reason for this is because, like I just said, of the information that we give them. We give real information to you that we want you to use straight away to help start increasing your sales, start growing your business, start increasing traffic, and just generally living the life that you've always wanted to live, the producer's dream life. And they usually have already set up their automated beat selling system. Before I continue, let me just add that most producers in the producer profits community that you're now a part of have already got their own automated beat selling system. Now, if you don't know how to set up, or even what an automated beat selling system is, then I advise you to scroll down to the bottom of this page right now and click the link, and it will take you to another page with a video on just like this one, where I'll be quickly running through with you what an automated beat selling system is and how you can implement it into your own online beat selling business today. So let's just start that point again. Most producers in the producer profits community have usually set up their automated beat selling system so they can earn enough money to live off selling beats online. And what I mean by so they can earn enough money to live off selling beats online is you need that income. You need the income that you know you're getting every single day, week, month or year. You need that so you know you can quit your job. You need to replace the current income that you have so that any income you build on top of that is all profit. That's the way I like to think of it. Because you need to know, you need to right now figure out how much you spend a month, and then you need to figure out how much money you need to make in order to quit your job and replace the income you currently have. Now this is what I've advised I've advised all of the producers to do this in the producer profits community, and fortunately and quite surprisingly I've actually been quite happy to see that around 85 to 90% of them have actually started to introduce an automated beat selling system to their business through using our information, which you can access at the link below. And also they've figured out how they can actually make enough money to replace the income they currently have so they can sit in the studio, make beats all day and make money in their sleep. And now I know make money in their sleep is a phrase that is overused and quite frankly has started to sound like a complete hype phrase, but let me assure you that I know this is not a complete hype phrase. I got a direct message on Twitter actually, I think it was three or 4 days ago now, from a producer who recently watched the how to convert music artists into paying customers video, and he was saying how ever since he set up his automated beat selling system, he's been able to sit in the studio all day and make beats. And he actually was able to do this for 5 days in a row. And during those 5 days, he made over $700. Now that's $700 profit from simply sitting in the studio doing what he loves, which is making beats. Now I'm sure you would love to have this. So we'll move on to the next slide and we'll discuss what type 3 is. And type 3 is the lucky producer, and this one is simply a producer who got their break or their success in living off selling beats full time by getting major placements. Now it probably hasn't happened to you yet, or you more than likely wouldn't be watching this video. And the reason for this is that most type 3 producers, I like to call them the lucky producers, are so caught up and so arrogant that they think that it's going to last forever. They think that major placements are going to last them forever. Now obviously if you're a producer like Timbaland, I don't know why I'm not speaking properly today, but producers like Timbaland, producers like Kanye, producers like Lex Luger to an extent, producers who, DJ Mustard's another one, all of these who actually have massive radio placements. They have placements of massive major artists such as Usher, who have radio spins every single day. Now this is where they make all their money, through radio royalties, and also they make them through obviously working with other major artists and upcoming major artists, such as the DJ Mustard and what's his name, YG's relationship. You see nearly on all YG mixtapes, most of the records have been produced by DJ Mustard. Now, he was a type 3 producer. He started as a type 2, so we'll go back. He started as a type 2, where he's determined and he works all hours of the day and has a ridiculous passion for what he did. So, and then, luckily, he broke into getting major placements, which therefore replaced his current income of when he first started, and is now able to live the life of his dreams. He's now able to live the dream producer lifestyle that you always think about. So for example, we got a major producer who has worked with many major artists in his time, but he came to Producer Props because he had no idea about selling beats online. He had no idea about the information that you already know. And the reason for this is because he admitted he was too arrogant and too caught up in his own success at the time to actually be bothered to learn something else. Now the trouble is with major Type 3 producers and the major placement scene is, yeah, when you do get major placements, great, but what's going to happen when that money stops? One day, probably even 1 or 2 years down the line, once it dies off the radio, who is going to buy that song? Who's going to buy that? Who's going to spin it on the radio? You might get the occasional one, but it will not be an income that you can efficiently live off. It's not going to be an income where you can enjoy your life 24/7. Now the reason for this is because the lucky producer, Type 3 producers, always have their prime time years. They usually 4 to 5 years. Well, I like to think it's 4 to 5 years. Now you can see this with some major producers out there. You've probably got music producers that you can think of in your head right now that used to be hot but now have completely dropped off the radar. Producers such as, well, I can think of one right now, Lex Luger. Lex Luger, about 4 years ago probably, I'm not too sure actually, but every single song that I heard from nearly every single major artist had a song with Lex Luger. Even Kanye and Jay-Z West had a song with Lex Luger. And another one is Jalil Beats. Now, you still hear about Jalil Beats every now and again, but if you remember about even 2 years ago, every single song you heard, big club song, big hip-hop club song, you always heard Jalil Beats, holler at me at the start of every single song from most major artists. Again, he dropped off, and unfortunately some major producers, now I'm not saying all of them, but some major producers don't know how to make that income coming in every single month that they can rely on and live off. And this is where you are extremely lucky, because you are in the position of being a Type 2 producer, the determined producer, and then being able to choose to drift into Type 3 whenever and when you want. So, and the reason for why you are so lucky for this to happen to you is because you have experienced all types. You've experienced Type 1, and luckily you've joined Producer Profits, so now you'll be in Type 2 once you have set up your automated beat selling system, so you can earn enough money every single month to happily live off selling beats and replace your income from your 9 to 5. And then, now you're a Type 2, you can then drift into Type 3, which is working with major artists. Now obviously working with major artists, you're going to get a lot of money, but it's so risky to depend on this for your income, because what happens if you drop off in 6 months? You're not going to have that income coming in anymore, are you? So we are in the best position. I've just explained this because as me and you are in the Producer Profits community, we're in the best of both worlds. We are Type 2 but can easily get into Type 3 if we work hard enough. And like I've just said and I've explained, Type 3 is a risky business to only try and achieve. I've told you a story about this. I've told you about the major producer we have in Producer Profits right now and why he joined us. Quickly again, he joined us because he didn't know the information you now know since joining Producer Profits about how you can actually set up an automated beat selling system that makes you money consistently every single month, automatically. And the next slide will tell you how you can right now learn how to quit your job and make money all day, every day, 365 days a year. Now, if you want to learn more about this and you want to learn more about how you can set up your very own automated beat selling system, then scroll down to the bottom of this page and click the link I've made for you. Now, I also have made another video teaching you how you can set up your own very own automated beat selling system right now, and the best news is that it has already helped over 87% of producers within our Producer Profits community. Now, I really don't want you to fall behind and not see or implement the automated beat selling system. I really don't want you to fall behind and not use this information right now, because I am telling you, you need to find a way to replace your current income every single month. in order to live off beats. You need to find a way to replace your 9 to 5 job's income that you're now probably getting every single week or month, and then replace this through beat sales. And the best way you can do this is set up your own automated beat selling system, because, and I'll tell you why, because an automated beat selling system is an efficient and reliable system that consistently makes you sales automatically. Now, I was asleep just last night. I was asleep. I think I went to bed at 3 and I woke up at 7, and in that period of 4 hours while I was asleep, I made 3 beat sales. What other system or job around the world allows you to do that? When you're in a job, you're limited to the number of hours you can work. You can't make more hours, so you can't make more money. I hope you see what I mean. But anyway, I'll stop talking, because I could literally go on for days and days, probably months, talking to you about how and why you need to set up your automated beat selling system. So yeah, if you're interested, please scroll down to the bottom of the page and click the link right at the bottom. It will take you to another video I've made for you, which will teach you exactly how you can get started setting up your own automated beat selling system and living the producer dreams you've always wanted right now. So I'll see you guys later. It's been nice talking to you again. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you soon.